And welcome back to Otaku News Live, where we are talking about the anime and manga news of the week. And as usual, I have with me my three wonderful co-hosts, starting with Matt Dixon from the Life and Tims of Anime. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Brenton. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a pleasure to be here.
And we also have Miniman joining us. How you doing, Miniman?
And I'm dancing with myself, but you can't see
that. And Zan is here as well from Otaku Underground. And Zan Plus is here, actually.
Yes. Konnichiwa, everyone. Rising Zan here, as always. With a special guest today. It's like one-time appearance only. It's my Vice President for Otaku Underground, Karine Serafim. Karine, please introduce yourself.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
As you can see, she's totally adorable and thus perfect for the position of my Vice President.
There we go.
Aren't you, Karine? So cute.
Wow.
Adorable won't work here since we're all mental.
He has a point.
It'll be a nice contrast, though, however.
It will, yes.
I'll just say kawaii and we'll get on with it.
Thank you, yes. Kawaii! All right, so moving on to some of the news from this week. One of the more interesting items is that a couple of Japanese companies are coming together to make an anime with a social networking component, social media component. Tokai TV, a Japanese broadcaster, is collaborating with an animation studio called DLE Inc., which I'm looking up right now, King Records for media, and Movic that does a lot of character goods. And they'll do this TV anime. It'll be done in Flash, unfortunately, but they plan to have a completely network with social media. The anime will develop over time based on feedback the staff receives from fans via Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc., etc. Basically a conversational anime about stuff.
You know exactly what's going to happen. Okay, I want to send in your emails about what you think of this show. You shit! At the end.
Yeah.
I can see like 10 messages of like, kill yourself on Facebook in Japan right now.
Well, if it's going to be of the quality of the Lovecraft anime, then yeah, everyone's going to hate it because
that's
the
same.
Lovecraft anime
That's
was crap.
It's the same company making it.
Oh god.
Then yeah, it's going to be absolutely shit. It's not going to make any sense. And the only good thing is going to be a little grey dragon eating a carrot. Which was the only good thing of the Lovecraft anime.
Right.
Which had nothing to do with Lovecraft, I might point out.
Well, maybe.
Lovecraft? What? There are no Cthulhu monsters?
Well, technically, Cthulhu's the only Lovecraftian thing in it, but Cthulhu is a little girl with silver hair.
What?
Well, there are other Lovecraftian creatures, but they are also cute girls with strange hair.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
Strange. It was the first episode was sort of entertaining, you know, and again the second episode featured a little grey dragon eating a carrot, and then the third episode was really stupid. You know, if they do what they did with the Lovecraft anime and make an amazing intro, because the Lovecraftian anime had an absolutely balls to the walls amazing intro, then yeah, you know, people might appreciate that, but they're not going to appreciate anything else about it.
Well, but will the social networking side of things help? I mean, you know, will they be able to integrate some of this feedback to say, oh, you know, maybe we should actually have some content now?
You know, this is going to be troll love. I'm just this is going to be trolled so much that it's not going to work.
Right. It's a good question.
The thing is, again, if it's like the Lovecraft anime, they don't have time for content. They have 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, if they want to do good stuff with it, they need to make it longer. You know, again, I'm going to keep bringing up the Lovecraft one because, you know, basically it's the same thing. If the Lovecraft anime was 10 minutes, you know, it might have been good because that craziness would have had some context.
True.
But, you know, in 3 minutes you cannot build context to your jokes. You just have to tell your jokes and hope people understand them, which doesn't work. You know, very few people will get it. You know, so they need to make the main thing they need to do before they do anything. You know, before they even ask for feedback, is make sure it's longer than 3 minutes. Make sure it's at the very minimum 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be 5 minutes actually. It's gonna be like a Hetalia length, I think.
Yeah. Well, and it airs Monday through Thursday, so 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Well, then they've got more chance for content, you know, that way, because, you know, the Lovecraft anime came out like once a week or something.
Just to be clear, for those watching, this is what it's going to look like. I've just thrown up a quick image of it. That's what we're,
Notice the symbolism of the black guy in the corner, representing the struggle for mankind.
Oh, it's just redolent with imagery. It is.
That's awful.
It's. I'm only hoping that's like, you know, their kindergarten daughter's drawing or something. I don't know.
The Lovecraft anime had decent drawings.
Yeah, it did.
When they moved, there was, you know, when these drawings started talking was when it was shit. But it was they were nice enough pictures.
Yeah.
The colouring was a bit off, you know, and if you're gonna get that picture,
how can you call that an anime? I don't know. It looks like, to me, a Chromati high school ripoff.
Could be. It does have that vibe.
I feel as if this could,
Yeah.
This feels like, I think this would be one of those anime where it's like, take a picture. Now, what do you think they're saying in this picture? You're not a bear. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
No, it's like the bear head.
Bear? What's the bear? There is no bear. That bear? No, that can't be a bear. That's just a human with weird features on his face and really furry skin.
He just has problems. Leave him alone. Stop picking on him.
Mommy!
Hey, stop being mean to Bear Kid. He's not different. He has a bear head.
I smell after school special.
No matter how different someone looks to you, even if they have a bear head, they're just like you on the inside. Except they have a bear head, so they can chew your face off.
But that's just how they're different. So it's all okay.
That's just who they are.
Just who they are, exactly. Okay.
No, basically it's going to be this. That's who they are. We should accept everyone. What about the black guy in the corner?
We do not talk to this man.
We should all join hands into a circle and scream for world peace and all that stuff like that.
Exactly. All right, so moving on to anime that probably won't suck, or that does not suck. Squid Girl. So
Squid Girl.
I still need to watch that.
Yeah. So good news about Squid Girl. The 3rd Blu-ray disc was released this past week, sold 9,000 copies, roughly, which made it top Oricon's overall sales chart for the week. So not just among anime, among all Blu-ray discs, it topped the chart. The interesting thing is that the first volume only sold 6,000 copies, as did the second volume, ranking numbers 14. Let's see here, number 14 and number 5. So, no, I'm sorry, number 4 and number 5. So it's surprisingly seems to be getting a lot more popular. Now, you know, the one thing is this does come with a little figurine of Ikemusume, as well as the box which you put all the discs in. So that could help. But I mean, still, there are plenty of other anime that come out that just doesn't matter what they put in there.
The interesting thing about Ikemusume is that this is like the combination of Yotsuba and crap, why can't I remember that other anime? It's the pink uniforms. It's the weird one. I can't remember it.
Pink
the
uniform.
other one that the creator of Yotsuba did.
Azumanga.
It's like both of those combined. It's the comedy, but also has like the slice of life of a new kid learning new things.
Okay.
However, I find it surprising that it's not the creator of those two series. It's actually something completely different.
Yeah.
Apparently, it also looks like.
Yeah, it looks exactly
does
like
have.
the same style.
Oh, it is so cute and it's so moe.
It is.
I would have watched it if it was by Chef, though.
Yeah.
I expected it to be trippy, but I don't know now.
It's not that trippy.
I like trippy anime.
My screen just paused on a picture of Brent, and it's so funny that I have to put it as my new Skype profile.
Oh dear. Here we go.
How poorly timed it was.
there's a quick image of what Squid Girl looks like, Ika Musume. So yeah.
Ika Musume, cute.
And yet again, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The girl on the left looks like the main character of Half Broken Music Box.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that main character on the left or the right?
On the left.
The brown-haired. The brown-haired girl.
No, the blue-haired.
Oh, the blue-haired girl. Interesting.
That's one on the left.
Girl. That's Ika Musume.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, because the girl on the right, she's an interesting character because she's basically a stalker for Ika Musume.
Ah, okay.
Like teen stalker?
No, just like she's like Ika Musume is so cute stalker.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
The cardcaptor Sakura, Tomoyo
That's
stalker.
Tomoyo?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, she's a stalker that likes dressing her up in schoolgirl outfits.
So it's exactly like Tomoyo from Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Okay. One thing I want to say about this anime though is this anime actually made me cry, and I did not expect it. It was like,
wow.
Okay, this episode it's episodic, kind of like Panty and Stocking said. Instead of 2 episodes in one episode, it's 3. And on 1/3 episode, I think it was episode 4. It's basically this completely random story where this other main character who usually has a rivalry with Ika Musume finds a little mini chibi Musume stuck in a bottle and takes her home. And then it's like this really interesting. And the whole episode's silent, by the way. So it's
wow.
The action. And basically it describes like this life story between the two. She takes her to the park. She takes care of her, and the last scene of that episode you see is just
no spoilers, no spoilers.
In a hospital bed.
No spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers.
Thanks there. Well done.
It was 1/3 of an episode.
You're gonna pay Dan. You're gonna pay Dan.
Yeah, I think I was able to speak over top of that, so I don't think anyone got that, but no spoilers.
Alright, sorry, I was just way too in the moment. I cried at that moment. It was so.
Give any more spoilers and I'll kill you.
Thank you. Someone had to say it.
Yeah. But yeah. So that. And by the way, folks, as I think I mentioned in the news, that disc contains the whopping episodes 5 and 6.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much generosity
That's
from the anime.
What you get in Japan. Yeah. Amazing. Okay.
Basically, when you go in and ask for a full series, they say, right, that'll be 1 foot long and your hands, please.
Yeah. How many thousands of dollars do you have? We'll just take all of it. You're good.
Are you okay with donating maybe all of your kidneys?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
How many anime are they worth to you? About 4 episodes. Do it.
You want Evangelion? Oh, well then.
I love Evangelion. The ending was so touching, especially the end. Shut up. You know that I like Evangelion.
Well, you know I hate it.
Okay. All right. Children. We're moving along. So
they call it puppy love.
So studio.
Please stop arguing.
Dan likes manly things. I like psychological horror and everyone getting traumatized things.
Good for you.
Well, yeah, Evangelion would certainly fit.
Educational cuteness.
Okay. Yeah, then definitely Evangelion. Okay, so Studio 4C, one of the most interesting anime studios in existence, have announced they are going to be doing an adaptation of a French comic called Mutafukaz, I think. It's set in Dark Meat City. I love that name. Dark Meat City. Called a.
From Mario.
It does. It is a pre-apocalyptic American urban jungle. I have no idea what that means.
Oh, America. No wonder they called it Meat City.
Yeah, there we go.
Basically, shit happens is usually what it means
Yeah.
when it's from Europe.
Yeah.
If it's in America, that means everyone's getting shot.
Yes, because that's what it's like here. And
Exactly.
so basically, they're going to do an animated film out of it, a budget of about $11 to $14 million, which is a heck of a lot for anime. And they're tentatively going to call it Mutafukaz. They'll just have the same name. Now, as I mentioned before, this is not the first time by far there's been a French anime adaptation. But I think it's the first time there's been a French, comic adapted by an anime studio.
Yeah.
Certainly interesting and different.
I just kind of like the introduction of the show. Also, apparently, the young man is called Angelica.
Okay. Okay.
Again, the French have those girliest names ever. Anyway, and I just like how he gets his powers. Where does it say around here? A young man whose scooter accident results in the acquisition of supernatural powers. Yes, scooter accident. Oh, wait a minute, scooter accident, supernatural powers. Coolie.
Have you had an accident at work?
I just saw it too.
With that guitar.
Yeah, with that guitar.
Try new powers for lawyers for you.
I honestly haven't seen any of this. I haven't watched it or read the comic. But the French, from what I've seen of their, their nerdy stuff, has been always really, really good with comics, story. Because it's like, for example, the Unicity story. If you like unique stories, try out the French stuff. Like Code Lyoko is a French anime, and they've got a really unique concept. I mean, it's sort of cliche, but they take it in an original direction. It's like evil supercomputer. How many times has that been done?
Yeah.
But, again, the French are really good for doing something unique. So hopefully this will be pretty good.
Yeah.
And with a budget of 11 million, it's not going to look at that.
Also, I don't think we've detailed that Studio 4C is the same guy who did the Animatrix, Batman Gotham Knights, and Halo Legend. Basically, the guys who do
and
all
Catherine,
the,
and Catherine. You forget Catherine, you die.
Those bit shows.
Yeah.
Animatrix.
Yeah, they. I'm looking up now which bits of those they did. I recall them being some of the more interesting ones. So in Batman Gotham Knight, I believe. It's not going to show us here. Let's see here. Studio 4C worked on. Wow, it's not even listed in the episode 1 of Batman Gotham Knight, which I can't remember which one that was.
I think that was the one with the multiple versions of Batman, like one.
Oh yeah.
Giant bat.
That was a neat one.
Yeah.
And Studio 4C did Origins, so that whole backstory thing, which was well done, as well as The Babysitter. I don't remember The Babysitter.
The first one of the Batman Gotham Knight isn't the multiple versions of Batman. That's like the third one.
Really? Okay.
The first one is the opening one with the two cops going to Arkham Island.
Which Halo Legends ones did you say 4C did?
Origins.
Origins, yeah.
And The Babysitter.
Oh, The Babysitter's the one where the ODST has to look after the Spartan woman.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool. And I mean, they've done tons of other stuff. They worked on, my gosh, Detroit Metal City, Doraemon, Full Metal Alchemist, let's see, House of Five Leaves, Kids Story, Kimi ni Todoke, Macross 7, actually.
Oh, I love Kids Story.
Magnetic Rose, Noir, side. They actually worked on Gundam 00. That's interesting.
They get respect from me for doing Kids Story.
Yeah. Rurouni Kenshin, Princess Arete, actually, wow. Index, they worked on Index. As well as
changed.
as well as probably the biggest one recently is they are basically helming the new reboot of Thundercats.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite interesting. So here's hoping that turns into something. I mean, it's certainly interesting right now. Here's hoping that it becomes something really interesting when we get into it. Okay, moving on to some manga news. K-On! Is not over. Yes.
No.
at least in manga form. So it's been announced that there's going to be 2 new continuing K-On! Stories. One will cover the girls in high school. They'll still be in high school. The other will focus on them as they move on to college. Now, there's no news in here as to exactly what form that'll take, whether they'll all stay together, whether it will follow, separate storylines with each of them. I doubt it, it being a 4-coma. But I'm quite fascinated that basically two different magazines are gonna follow this. I suspect it's basically I don't want to say a money grab, but it's kind of like, okay, now you get to buy two different magazines to follow these stories. So it's smart on that from that perspective, but also I think I think it's the first time I've ever heard of a manga where they're kind of explicitly splitting off into two timelines simultaneously.
Well, it's definitely an interesting thing because one thing they can do, that will get you to buy both is something, will be very obvious that something's happened in the college one. Say, for example, one of the girls isn't there, just as an example.
Yeah.
And that will, then you'd think, people that have only just bought the college one will think, oh, now I've got to buy the high school one because I need to find out why, And that's not only a good, marketing thing. That's interesting. I like it when stuff does that. It's because a lot of they did that in Lost. I only watched enough of Lost to know it was crap. Anyway, but they did that a lot. They'd show episodes of flash forwards to the future. Where and people kept saying, why is this dude never ever shown in the future? And it just made you keep watching it because you wanted to know why that guy wasn't in the future, but he was there in the past. And it turns out it was something stupid, like that man turned out to be an eagle. Marshmallow fluff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something interesting, and I respect Keon. No, not Keon.
Different
Keon
character
for doing that. It's cool, really.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to read the Keon manga. I'm probably going to buy the first issue at some point.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something really interesting and something very smart, not only in a marketing standpoint, but in just a general interest.
Yeah.
Standpoint, a story standpoint.
And continuing with my epic hate of KO, which anyone who's seen any of my edits will know, this gives me even more footage to make the bassist explode with.
There we go. Well, it brings up this a good point on the chat room. Is this would allow the K-On! girls to get boyfriends? Oh boy! Imagine the fan rage at that point.
We're gonna see some Yoko Onos.
Well, again, that's another interesting thing. I didn't really think of that for the story, because what happens when people that are very dedicated to something find something else they're interested in?
Yeah.
So another interesting story. It's like, I can't believe you're ditching the band for your boyfriend. I've got to do it. I love him. Blah 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 blah. And that's an interesting storyline. No matter what it's done in, you're always interested.
Yeah.
So again, another cool opportunity there, and
yeah.
I like it.
And now, of course, the big question is, whether they'll take it. K-On! being the plotless wonder. But that's fine. I think we talked about this before. That it's not meant to have a massive overarching plot about the meaning of life. So it'll be curious to see if they do.
Like every other anime in the world.
Right, exactly. So
I'm surprised how far K-On's come from being like just a 4-panel comic.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a tour de force. Of course, having Kyoto Animation doing your anime helps.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, it's certainly become a big thing. Heck, the folks breaking into the school. I mean, gosh, some folks get a little obsessed.
Well, K-On! Is probably one of, or if not the most popular anime at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they've done it. It's a lot better when something from humble backgrounds comes to the great heights. Because again, me, I always like the interesting news stories rather than just Miyazaki has done another film. Oh, it's right. When someone says the newcomer has shot Miyazaki in the head, which again people are probably still hoping for, or something like that. But yeah, I like the humble backgrounds coming to the great heights, and that's why I like K-On! Putting aside that it's got a good story and it's just overall entertaining. There's nothing really wrong with it to go against Miniman. But I just had to get that out at some point that I like K-On! I just had to K-On! Matthew can word.
K-On! it.
I'm channeling Cthulhu.
Yes, you are.
Yes, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's all just nice and easy to watch. Again, it's I keep saying this. You can take your brain out and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, international symbol for Cthulhu, by the way.
for mine, it's kind of ironic that you say you can take your brain out and just enjoy what it is, because when I watch it, I just want to take my brain out and smash it against the wall. I hate K.O. and I do not like K.O. and I do not know why, and it's one of those annoying things. It just reminds me of Code Geass, just because of my pure hate for it.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. So K-On! Fans, you'll have more if it gets brought over here, the manga at least. It also raises the interesting possibility of more anime.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So we'll see, and of course it'll take a while to get there. But
hold on, one other point as well. They'll be in college.
Yeah.
Will they look different?
Ah, true.
Character redesigns.
Yeah.
That's the usual
Because in college,
forward
you don't have a uniform.
methodology, though. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. No more school uniform.
So they'll be. I mean, in the anime, and in the manga, you do see them in a lot of different outfits.
Yeah.
Which again is another good thing when they're not wearing the same outfit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It just seems more real.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to constantly see them in new outfits. And just, it's another good thing because character redesigns, because how many people are going to get annoyed by the character redesign?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone will get annoyed about something.
An example of Dean.
Yeah. Like, her hair is far too long. Why she dyed her hair? I can't believe she got straight. I mean, that is so not her.
Darn you, creators of the show, for deciding something different than I believe as a fan. That's not right. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, I am a fan of this director. They changed something.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, you say it's going to be in high school and college, and it's going to be, so while everyone else is going, oh, K.O., and it's just me in the background being the only person that's going, please be a school day's ending, please be a school day's ending. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Can you not love school day?
So yeah, I'll be curious to see where they take that, and I would like to see different character designs. I would like to see them shift things up. There's a great line about that where when Clamp was designing Cardcaptor Sakura, they explicitly designed it so that Sakura would get different outfits in every issue, because they said it is kind of sad for a girl to only have one outfit. Yeah.
That's probably the best line to explain it, yeah.
Is it actually, yeah.
I know there was one anime, it didn't do very well, that it did one thing very adventurous, and they pretty much spent their whole animation budget on this, was the character got older through the series, the character physically changed, not just, because a lot of the time in a lot of anime you'll see, it's been a year, but I look no different.
Right.
And which is weird because, the ones that always do the time skip are the ones like in high school, where, you change drastically in 5 minutes, let alone a year.
Yeah.
So, this character changed throughout it and, got visibly older, which was, and, by the end of it, they had Grizzle, which was awesome.
Nice.
Because who doesn't want Grizzle? I mean, I want Grizzle. I want a goatee. I have a mustache, but I have to keep shaving it because I look an idiot.
And the problem is when you get a goatee, you go evil.
Yes, I know.
That's the problem.
I had a goatee for like 5 minutes, and then I shot a chicken. And I felt so guilty. It was a delicious chicken, however.
That's good.
I will admit.
Well, then it's justified.
Win-win.
Well, then maybe the goatee works for you.
Yes, it makes me channel evilness into yumminess.
Hey, good thing.
Weirdest thing I've ever said.
No, if you want to see a funny sort of joke about them changing characters and costume things in every episode, my favourite example of this, of one of the reasons why you shouldn't do it, is Hime-chan, Itogi Idol.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, Lil Free. Okay, so basically every time they end an episode, they do an awesome dance sequence, but it's the same every episode. And everyone got really confused as to why. And for some reason, it goes into 3D models.
Wow.
And then everyone worked out that because they were making playing cards of different outfits every week. Yeah. And it's just so they could copy and paste a different model, and it would do exactly the same thing. They didn't have to redraw anything.
Yeah.
And it's just so great. It's like one thing is, even if it's the same annoying music, and
of course.
Dance, you keep watching, it's just like, what are they wearing this week? But in a non-pedophilic way.
Okay, yeah.
That's probably one of the weirdest things Miniman's ever said. Wondering what they're wearing, but in a non-pedophilic way.
Yes, whenever I wonder what someone else is wearing, it's always in a pedophilic way.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Hello, child.
Hello, children.
Wow.
Amazingly, down here in Matt's basement, there is a second basement where I keep the kids.
Okay.
The basement in the basement.
It's a basement within a basement within a basement.
Yes, it's very scary.
I'm in
Okay.
Inception, Otaku. Basement style.
All right. So let us jump back, these, 75 years, to the 30s, and a very different time in history. When...
Ink Spots were out. One of my favorite old school bands, the Ink Spots. They were awesome.
There we go. And the release in 1934 of Tank Tankuro. This was a manga made in Japan about a tank named Tankuro. Funny how that works. And basically, it's this robot tank kind of thing. And he fights the villain Black Helmet in the decade before World War II. And it's this manga is going to get translated into English and released over here by a Japanese publisher called Press Pop. And, I mean...
Now?
Yes.
Wow.
And...
Am I anyone who can just say that Black Helmet sounds like a condom?
It does, yes, thank you. I was thinking that myself. Well, the thing is, this is one of the first robot stories in Japan, and probably the first Japanese science fiction manga. So
Awesome.
Yeah, and apparently it's a big influence on Osamu Tezuka and Fujio, the creators of Doraemon, and other manga creators. So this is what inspired the folks who made anime.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see what that is and how that turns out. I mean, we get very for those who don't know, pre-World War II Japan was very different. So yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice to think that all the people that this inspired all came together and said, yeah, let's all round up the money and pay for this. I bet it cost them like 5 pence.
Yes, I'm sure.
The illusion is shattered when you realize a manga that old, the license will, and the ability to translate it will cost about 40 pence or something altogether.
Yeah.
I don't know about that because here's the thing. First of all, I think this is a bad business decision just because, okay, even Otaku like me, Brent, Matt, and Miniman, guys, I don't think we're going to be able to, want to buy this. First of all, this is going to be ancient stuff. I mean, I'm having, Mobile Suit Gundam for me is right now cheesy, but I like because it is cheesy. But we're winding the clock way back now. This isn't the 70s anymore. This is the 30s.
Yep.
This is like manga just coming out of the shell of its egg. Yes, it does have influence on Tezuka and the creator of Doraemon. But will that be enough to have us read it and pay, and I quote, $30 for it, $29.99 for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Zan, my answer is yes. a lot of people will buy it, and in fact, I'll buy it. I want to see what inspired anime. This is it's not exactly collectible because this thing's really, really, really old and they're just reprinting it. But it's something just nostalgic to have. It's like some people do buy certain things just to have them, just to say, I have the manga that inspired anime. It's it's a lot of people, enough to make a profit will buy this. I can say that hands down. So this has a lot of nostalgia to it.
I gotta admit, I take Zan's point that I think that certainly it will find buyers. Folks will buy it. How well will it do? I think that's a very open question. When most otaku don't know anime past 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how well this is really gonna get people. Folks like me, Ed Sizemore, Patrick Macias, people who are into this stuff. They'll definitely go into it, but
people that know why or what it is. People just if it's just there on a shelf,
no one's
going to buy it. I'll admit that no one's going to buy it if they just see it on a shelf. Who wants it? You know, this thing's going to have the art style of a 5-year-old and the story of a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
But you know. And it's going to be filled with so much Japanese culture that, you know, even the...
And propaganda.
People who live in Japan probably won't understand it.
Yeah.
You know,
and, you know, the stuff from that period was very, you know, the West is evil.
Yeah.
And I'll be curious to see. I mean, some of the stories are like that, some of them aren't, but it's funny reading about some of these original stories where it's like, okay, so the premise is that, you know, America has bombed Japan and destroyed it. And, you know, we have the one courageous Japanese youth who, you know, fights back against the Americans, and they're all, you know, evil and so forth. And it's just like, wow, that's not going to sell well. You know, so
if they advertise it right.
Yeah.
If they advertise it right, and they, you know, and they make sure people know.
Yeah.
You know, if it's got a good internet
buzz
influence.
Yeah.
You know, if AMV is, you know, like talking about it enough, you know, and in forums are talking about it, and it's like the manga that inspired anime is being translated. You know, people will get interested and people will buy it.
Yeah.
But you know, if this just goes completely under the radar, this thing will just never sell. You know, there'll be like one dude that will pick it up, and he'll be some sort of really creepy, you know, dude with, I don't know, sweat just constantly streaming down his face. Like, this looks fantastic.
I have every manga ever made.
Buy it, but you know, but again, you know, if people just buy it, they'll slate it because it will just be ununderstandable. You know, it's one of them mangas that will just be incomprehensible to the West. It's like I bought a manga recently, Sayonara Zatsuba Sensei.
Oh yeah.
And it's filled with so much Japanese social satire that I got none of the jokes. Yeah. You know, and this Tankaro will be exactly the same. You know, it's just ununderstandable by the West because the West people are not from the East; they're from the West.
It also has the issue that it's got you know, it's going to be a story aimed at young boys. It's going to be a young boys adventure. Young American boys are not going to buy this and read it. You know, like you said, I think this is going to go to the, you know, manga worth reading people, that, you know, the serious manga bloggers, those few of us.
Note to self: buy and give amazing review to further be the unpredictable one on ONV.
There we go. Actually, this might turn into that one thing where, like, you know, this gets reviewed by, you know, a total of 10 people. And, you know, they all become, like, huge fans. Like, oh my gosh, you read this too? I thought I was the only one. You know?
Basically, this is going to be me and Phantom.
Yeah, exactly.
Phantom, join my club.
It's going to be one of those. It's going to be like one of those coincidence falling in love films where this dude's reading it on a bus, and a woman's also sat there across from him on the bus reading it, and then a whole dramatic love story begins from there, and then the manga is just never featured again. Until the end, where it's seen on both their original copies laid on top of each other on a table.
And then they realise those two lovely copies that are left there were actually left on the train, and they just lost themselves $60.
Children picked them up, and then their children fell in love with other children that also.
That sounds very anime, actually, very disturbingly.
That's how school days began.
And that's how babies are born.
Wow.
I like to see Brent, like, when this comes out, have Brent review this and see what's more offensive, this manga or
5 minutes in ONV.
And the anime feature like Phil.
Oh, Momotaro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's certain.
More offensive.
Yeah, they've got a tough mountain to climb to manage to outdo that. Although, to be honest, I mean that was more, you know, ridiculous propaganda. So it's kind of like, whatever. You know, it was just goofy. Okay, so moving on to something that I think Matt wants something to say about. There is a new Haruhi Suzumiya desktop mascot application.
Yay.
This little accessory made by Kyoto Animation. Lets you play around with the SOS Dawn members in chibi form, has wallpapers, clock, icons, mouse cursors, blah, 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 blah. There's also a disappearance version, which I'm very curious about.
The Disappearance version is sort of like an Easter egg, which you can do by triggering certain events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you say you play with it, Matt? What's it like?
Yeah. Just to finish off minimum sentence there, not certain events, just a certain event. You click Yuki Nagato 5 to 7 times and it turns into the Disappearance version.
I see.
But I've played around with it and it is absolutely awesome. You know, it's one of those things that had to have been done by the original company, and it's just really nice. You know, it's all very smooth and just really works well. It's like the mascots, when you open them, they all come out sat on the table of that you find in the SOS Brigade room, and they're all sat and chatting, and then you pick them up. And they hang from your mouse cursor.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And when you pick them up, they say something. They say, obviously I don't know because it's in Japanese, but they say lines from the show.
Nice.
And each one has their own custom animation for when they're hanging from your finger. It's like Pion. When you pick him up, you're holding him by his foot, and he's hung upside down. And there are a lot of there are a lot of Easter eggs in it. It's like one of the Easter eggs is if you pick Kyon or Koizumi up, and you hover them over one or the other, Kyon will say something.
Interesting.
Easter egg. But yeah, to move on a little, is the wallpapers, awesome. Brilliant, amazing art. That because I was looking for a while for good Haruhi wallpapers, and I've never found some as good as these.
I have a few.
These ones are seriously fantastic. If you want a good wallpaper, downloading this app. Just the wallpaper is totally worth it. You also get a clock. You get a selection of clocks, and the clock's pretty good. I've got one working. It's a bit hard to get it so it doesn't, because the clock will otherwise, if you don't change the settings, appear in front of every window no matter what. And because it's in Japanese, that's kind of hard not to do. So, I got it working eventually. But yeah, the clocks work. You can tell the time on them, obviously, because it's a clock. They look really nice. I've actually got it open now. What I'm looking at is the daily, monthly calendar, which each comes with its own. Each day or month comes with unique artwork.
Okay.
Some mouse cursors, which are okay. I've never used mouse cursors. Custom icons, which I've never seen the point of. Because otherwise, if you use custom icons, how do you know what you're about to click on?
Yeah.
And another interesting thing about the Disappearance version is yes, the characters turn into their disappearance. Chibis, they also say lines from the Disappearance. They have different animations for when you pick them up and click on them, and the table changes. And the fun thing is when the table changes, if you drag all the characters back onto the table and then click on the computer screen, the program comes up to
nice.
to reverse it, and then you press enter.
Nice.
Which is awesome. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks really, really good. The art's fantastic, and there's nothing to complain about with it.
Does it help if your desktop's quite clear? So I'm currently doing a massive clear of my desktop just for this. Seriously, I now have two icons
on Windows. They just walk over the windows
and
everything. They just walk around. The one thing I would complain about is the characters don't interact. When they meet each other, that would have been interesting. Every time they cross paths, they shake hands or something. I don't know. Would have been interesting, but it's not necessary. It looks fantastic, just having them there. Oh, another thing that it can do is you can set it up so every time you close a window, a certain character says something, and it will say a series of different lines. It's like I've got it as Koizumi. Whenever I turn the computer off or on, Koizumi will say something.
Nice.
Which is just plain awesome because Koizumi is the shiz. Well, other than that, I've got not much else to say about it. It's just really cool and a really good idea, and the fact that it's free is awesome. It's a bit of a pain in the hole to download for the West. It's like I think we should. I'll link it in the chat how to download it because it's a pain in the hole, but it's definitely worth it. Just for if you're like me and you have two computers, it's nice to have it on one and just every time then turn it and look and just be like. Awesome. Actually, I think if I can turn my laptop enough, I can show it.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just down there, over there, and you can just see them walking around.
Nice. Huh. That is cute.
Very cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Matt died. Haruhi just overloaded. Yuki probably overloaded his system.
Wait, it's not the 78th yet, Matt.
Yeah, that's true.
Whoopsie.
Oopsie.
I accidentally closed my computer screen.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Okay, so I think that does it. Anyone else want to bring up anything else?
Don't think so.
Yes, just
maybe one quick thing. Tales of Earthseed. Do we know if that's subbed or dubbed?
That is a very good question. Let me pull that up. For those who don't know, Tales from Earthsea was released on DVD here in America, and just now. It is clearly dubbed because the Amazon link lists Timothy Dalton and Willem Dafoe. So there must be a dub in there somewhere.
Yay!
Yep, dubbed and subbed, as usual. Region 1. Amazon currently sells it for $18. So I will probably be buying that there, since I have. Well, actually, no. I have the original Region 2 release, I think. So I'm good.
You don't get to hear the rape scene dubbed, though.
Hey, yes. That's. I'm very curious to see how Disney handles that. You know. They were having a strong argument. But for those curious, there is a sequence in Tales from Earthsea where a girl is restrained and a man advances on her threateningly, and it does, it doesn't go much farther than that, but it's very clear what's about to happen. That'll be quite interesting. Give you a feel.
That's probably the main reason why Disney hesitated to bring it over.
Yeah, it's like, wait, did we really put in our contract that we had to put it? Yeah, we have to put everything in there. Dang it! Yeah. It made $61 million in the Japanese box office, so that's incredible by Japanese box office standards. So yeah, interesting. So you do get a dub if you go ahead and get that. It was only released on DVD at this point, so just FYI, there's no Blu-ray at this point in America. All right, well then, if that is it, I would like to, as always, thank Matt from the Life and Tims. What's up with Life and Tims anime? What's coming up soon in Life and Tims?
In the Life and Tims, we're doing a review of Zan. Can you tell me the manga we're reviewing?
Kongo Bancho, because it is Bancho.
We're doing a review of Infinite Stratos. Hopefully we're going to talk about some sort of video game. I don't know. I may be discussing that with Miniman, or maybe I've got a project already lined up. Who knows? You'll have to come and see.
Very good. So that's
the weirdest thing I've ever said.
Definitely. So that's lifeandtimsofanime.podbean.com. Miniman, thanks you as always for joining me. I'm not going to thank you for the image you threw up, but thank you for joining us.
No, sorry, my computer screen froze, so I had to take advantage.
I see.
I'll give you all a helpful tip, and this week's helpful tip comes from Duke.
Milk. It's a great source of calcium.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
John St. John, Duke Nukem said that.
That is
enjoy it.
It really is a great source of calcium.
As to quote, Space Ghosts always had his final line on one of his shows, and one of my favorites was, today's revelation from Space Ghost is pots and pans are good for banging.
Question of the week.
Yeah, thank you very much. We will get to that in a second. While I'm pulling that up, Zan, what's new with Otaku Underground?
No, thank you. Okay. Right now we're just me, Karin, and our other affiliate, the Bishonen Maker, are basically just like trying to get stuff artistic, advertising stuff for the show. I'm planning on getting a camera this Monday. Hopefully I will find one that's good enough a price. I'm broke. like working on a symbol, working on a picture for to use in the Otaku no video database that you asked me about a couple of months ago, I think. I still need to send you that. I still need to get that picture done.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'll send you that, and and also working on a symbol. And I love the Shonen Maker's ideas. We actually had a bit of a conference yesterday, and it was very good. Yeah, Starbucks conference. But so far just working on that. I worked on this script for the winter 2011 top list of my top recommended.
Okay.
And that's really all that's going on. Until I get a camera, I can't really do anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So the question of the week for this past week was, what was the most impressive cosplay you've ever seen? I particularly like that one. And we did get something in here from Lanky Giza on the live cast.
I like that man.
Yes. And his most
I don't heard him.
and now you have. And he says, I've seen the full getup of Hay from Darker Than Black, complete with the daggers that glowed blue with electricity. That's darned impressive.
Yeah, that's very awesome.
Yes. How about you guys?
Well, I guess since I go first in the goodbyes, I'll go first in this.
Okay.
I've actually got another funny story about cosplays as well, actually, if I can remember it, because I've actually suddenly forgotten it. But I'll tell you about my favourite cosplay I ever saw was Batman cosplay. Who'd have thought it? Me talking about Batman. No, but the dude was just absolutely kept out in Batman gear. You know, it was an absolutely perfect cosplay. I've actually got once I went to the convention, I wrote a whole big blog post about it, and there's a picture of the Batman cosplay, so I'll link that in the chat now. But also the coolest thing about the dude was it wasn't just a cosplay that was awesome, you know, this cosplay was amazing, was just the dude was constantly in character.
Nice.
And also I went up to him and said, can I have a picture? And he just nodded, you know, he's like, yes, I'm Batman. If he was the Christian Bale Batman, it must sound like this, I'm Batman. Christian Bale sucked as Batman. It was a good Bruce Wayne, not a good Batman. Anyway. I asked him if I could get a picture, and my friend, there's a picture of me, and that's what happened. The dude just grabbed me by the back of the neck and pushed me onto the floor, you know, and just, you know, I got that picture, and it was absolutely awesome. It was so amazing. But, the funny story about cosplays as well is, this is something that tends to happen from what I've spoken to guys about cosplay, is, I was walking around the convention the first time I ever went, and I was just chilling, you know, I just looking, browsing, and through the crowds, this is where Matthew shows his dark side, I saw an amazing pair of legs, absolutely perfect. And I could tell just by the lower half that it was a Haruki cosplay, the bunny suit. Looked up, it was a dude.
Yeah. Sucks to be you.
That seems to be what happens a lot for a lot of people that have gone to a cosplay convention, from what I've spoken to. And it's like when I went to, I can word, channel Cthulhu. But yeah, I warned my friend when I went back in October, I was saying, don't look at anyone's legs. Look at face first. Face first.
That's what I always do.
I had that.
Happened to him.
I had that experience with not that experience. At my first Otakon, I think I saw the entire set of Sailor Scouts played by 40-year-old men.
Nice.
And we're talking beer bellies, and there was no question that they were pretty legs, because, you know, hairy legs, whole 9 yards. It was really, really memorable, sadly.
It had to be a joke.
Absolutely. Yeah. Apparently they do this frequently. But it was just, oh my gosh, you know, I almost wish like they'd been smoking cigars or something that would have just put it over the top. But
topped the image.
Yeah,
perfectly.
Absolutely. How about the rest of you guys?
Smoking a pipe and had a monocle.
Yeah, I've never been to a convention, as you all know. So I just went around searching for the best costume I've ever seen, and there was one. I'm just going to post it in the box now. It's not very anime.
Okay.
But my God, is this the greatest costume ever made?
That's a good costume.
It's not so bad. It's a guy dressed as a can of Spam.
Oh, hey, this is last week.
I know. I was just looking for the image, and it's just so funny because I don't see much like cosplay and stuff. I mean, I've seen an alright Briareos cosplay, but
nice.
it was just, but it was from the 3D Appleseed one, so it just looked kind of like simplistic and didn't look cool at all. But I don't know, like I haven't ever been to a convention. So I thought, why not cheer up everything by giving us a can of Spam?
There we go. There we go.
I met that guy.
Oh, okay.
No, that dude's that costume basically is used in Monty Python's Spamalot.
Ah, okay.
Is it?
They have him dance across the stage.
Gotcha.
Oh,
nice.
awesome! I used to see that show.
Brilliant.
Yeah. How about you, Zen?
Oh man, the cosplay I've seen in all 4 years I went to Fan Day. I'm actually looking at some of myself right now because I'm even so poor that I have to take pictures with my camera.
I was so fortunate that I always had a digital camera with me.
Yeah. I'm thinking about them. I'm trying to give you some examples of some good cosplay there, but really, the most memorable cosplay I've ever seen at a convention was at my my third year of Fan Day Con. It was the year right after I finished watching the Gurren Lagann series.
Okay.
And I went to the Gurren Lagann get together, and Gurren Lagann was still hot. We had like this huge Gurren Lagann together with the cosplay.
Tell me about that one.
I don't think so. Anyway, and there was like a car that had like Nia and Simone on the side. It was like
nice.
Spray painted, awesome, and some great cosplayers. We had like every single Gurren Lagann character, and from the corner of my eye, I saw Kamina, but not just a regular Kamina, no. I saw Kamina with Buta over his crotch and nothing else.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
What?
And
I think I saw that at MCM last year.
My most favorite cosplay of all time.
Wow.
How should I say this? How masculine that cosplay is.
Okay.
Oh yes, we know why that one was your favorite.
You had the stuff you would wear over your private parts, like what most girls do for cosplay.
Okay.
He had that stuff on.
Yeah. Thank the Lord. Anyway.
No. He had like the nylon stuff.
The nylon? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
First time conventions are really awesome especially for the cosplay, because you just see the levels of cosplay. So I think one of my and also another advice to the female listeners is punch your boyfriend in the crotch before he goes in, otherwise you're going to be in a very embarrassing situation, because the amount of surprisingly the amount of attractive women cosplaying is amazing. Like I saw a Jolteon cosplay, and so it was basically just a morph suit with a bit of fur around the neck. Basically, a woman, well, probably about my age, cosplaying as Jolteon, laying on the floor in a very suggestive way.
Yeah.
It was awesome. No other way to describe it.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
But yeah.
The funny thing was, my dad was staring at these women as well, and my mum was just giving him such a look, And it was at that point, like, yeah, I'm going to go this way, you guys can go that way. Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to be aware that there's going to be a certain amount of unfurled tongues on the man's part.
Example was example of my second year when I saw Bulma in bunny outfit from Dragon Ball.
Nice.
Yeah.
Crispin Freeman has a story that he remembers, like one of his very earliest cons. He went there, and there was a girl cosplaying as Rei Ayanami shower scene. So So it's like, okay. The most impressive cosplay I've ever seen, I'm gonna throw up on the chat room. I also threw up YouTube videos. It's Bumblebee. And as in the Transformers, as in the new Transformers, and he was like 10 feet tall. It was this huge costume, everything lit up. He had like a vocoder on his voice. It was just full scale. It was amazing. I feel kind of bad because it's one of those things where it's just ridiculous. The amount of effort and cost that went into that. thing is just way beyond what anyone reasonably would do.
Is that a Nerf gun on his left hand?
I believe it is, yes.
Oh.
Yes. There's another image of him sort of coming down. But yeah, it was just, full scale, everything you'd want out of that costume, just absolutely stunning.
That is so cool.
Probably another cosplay I would say that I loved was the Carbo that keeps coming back every year. Carbo from Yotsuba.
Oh, nice.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's the cardboard robot that the girls dress up in.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's almost to exact detail. The mouth and the face, exactly how it is.
Wow.
Point spots there. It's just exactly how it should be.
That is impressive.
For, it's probably not size because girls dressing up.
Yeah.
But,
Let me see if I can show you.
I love that one so much.
See if I can show you a little bit
Quite
of
funny,
this.
because when I go to MCM, I can't find myself a black mask to do Spy. I've already planned it. I'm going to get cardboard boxes. I'm going to dress up as part of the Concords doing the Robots music video.
Nice.
Really crappy cardboard boxes.
I think I will always remember fondly the Cheerios man.
Fair enough.
The dude with a box of Cheerios on his head. It was awesome.
Actually, at Otaku, I saw a Game Boy. That was a good one. Like a classic Game Boy. Just a huge box of that was cute. Okay.
Would you like to push my button?
There we go.
Awesome.
There we go. All right. So that was the question of this week. The question for next week. Please email me. Let me see if I can have my. I don't have my. No. Throw my email here in a second.
You was chatting that time.
Yeah. There is my hard to read email address. I will try to make more visible. So email me with your answer to the following question. It's an easy question, one that I think will get a lot of answers. What or how did you get into anime? What got you into anime?
I got a story for that one.
And just to make it a little more interesting, and to make it more clear, it's not like the first anime you saw. It's what really got you into anime as a fan. That's the question. So email me to brent@otakunovideo.net and let me know what that was. So, again, thank you to my guest host, my wonderful guest host, as always. I love doing this, love having you guys here. So, thank you, and I will see you all next time.
Sayonara, bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.